About what? Keep saying to rotate device.
Live?
Yeah.
Go. Speak.
About what? Are you about to put it in? Motherfucker, this thing won't stand up straight.
Is it midnight hour?
Hello. We have 6 people watching.
Boom.
Sorry about the language. It's been frustrating. As you can tell, we are 30 minutes late. As soon as Zach gets over here, we can start the questions. He's got to put a dip in for this, apparently.
Got that social anxiety, you know.
Hello. There's probably a lag, so if it takes us a minute to get back to you, then that's probably why. Hey, Brett.
Is that Brett Priest?
Yeah.
BP in the house? Not to be confused with the oil company.
No, not to be confused with the old company. Yeah, hunting season is over, so pretty excited about that. Pennsylvania. I miss Pennsylvania. I do. LA. Wow. That's far away. It's snowing here. I bet it's not there. Alien technology. Oh, I saw an L because I'm maybe drinking, maybe not. But Zach's been on an alien kick lately.
Hey, don't be giving my secrets away.
Watching all kinds of videos about alien technology.
I've been on an alien kick since birth, Joe.
Well, especially lately. It's all I hear about, all I watch.
I just want to show you guys something, alright? This is how you make a spit cup, okay? Michelob can, cheap ass Walmart steak knife.
Welcome to Georgia. Feral kids are in bed. Thank God.
Their kids are in bed?
They asked about the feral kids.
Oh, yeah.
Our
I hope
kids.
their kids are in bed.
Yeah, I hope
This probably should have went up to the midnight hour.
Yeah, I hope that your kids are in bed as well, because we all need a break from that. Especially when it's a snow day and you go to the grocery store with them. You need bedtime to come a little earlier. Hurry up, Zach.
Alright guys, I will tell you this. I hate YouTube Live already. I hate it. Like, we got the lights set up and everything for our laptop. We got, I don't know if you can see this here. We have our little mic set up right here. And we were going to go live with the laptop. But no. YouTube told us we needed to be coders. We needed to be That's insecurity. Did you see that? She just turned it toward me. That's insecurity, like subconscious insecurity, like manifesting itself through live YouTube stream. True?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to figure out these comments because sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. Easy. There's a gun up there. It's loaded too.
Well,
Y'all see that gun up there? I don't know if you can.
they disappear so quickly.
They disappear, guys. I cannot see.
Oh, there they go.
Okay. All right. Take the pull tab, twist it 90 degrees, and push it down towards the bottom of the can at the point it connects. Okay. Brett P., I'll take that advice. I'm just trying to figure out like how to read these comments.
There you go.
There we go. All right. So we got some questions going on here. Like we wanted to like celebrate deer season being over. We're going to start filming again probably, I don't know. We got some inclement weather going on right now. So I'm not going to say tomorrow, you know. We probably won't be filming tomorrow, but probably near this week's end, we're going to be back at it. I got some killer permissions going on, but, you know, Amanda and I, we were just sitting on the couch. I was like, hey, Exploring Alabama told me, hey, you need to go live and you need to just like interact with your YouTube viewers. And I was like, sure, why not? Let's do that. Deer season's over. It's a good time to do it. And if you see me like looking down and making weird faces, it's because I can't do this from a laptop, which is making me very vulnerable. So if I'm doing weird things with my hands and my face and I'm like looking at you guys like this, it's because I'm trying to keep these. No, don't do that. It's because I'm trying to stay PG because this is not the midnight hour. This is the adventure hour. From Texas.
Yeah, we had some from
Darnell.
Iowa.
What's up, Darnell? All right, so we posted on Facebook that we were just going to just kind of do a Q&A pretty much. So this is your chance to ask us anything. It doesn't have to have anything to do with metal detecting. Anything you've ever wondered about Amanda or myself, like anything. So you guys shoot. There's 17 of y'all, so come on. San Antonio. What's up, Jesse?
I'd like to go to San Antonio.
Yeah, I want to go to San Antonio, and I want to sit under the stars, and I am alive, Jimmy. I don't know that dog snout from anywhere.
Oh
Craig
God,
Jensen. Oh my God, it's real. I missed that. Did you kill a decent buck this year? I killed a decent buck, I killed a decent buck, but I let a lot of good deer walk this year.
Give me a beer, please.
Are you done with Witcher 3? I don't want to be, but guess what, Brett P, BP. I'm gonna start calling you BP. All right. Sadly, I am done with Witcher 3, but guess what? Netflix has a series coming, and I think they're going to do a good job on it. And I heard that there's going. Sorry, I'm getting.
Comments.
I got ADHD.
Witcher 3.
I did hear that they're going to have an online version. The next Witcher is going to be online, and it's going to be virtual reality, if not augmented reality. So I'm literally going to be chasing my kids around the house with imaginary swords, and that's how our species ends, folks. This augmented reality. That's it. All right, I hope that answered that. Where's the farthest place you visited? Pennsylvania and Kentucky. Northwestern Kentucky and Pennsylvania. That's the farthest place I visited. Yes, I am not a well-traveled man. The kids, the wifey, she's doing all right. I'm good. The kids, they're thriving. All right, Darnell. Zach, how do you feel when you finally found a mercury dime? Well, I don't know. I felt there was a lot of pressure involved in that. Amanda beat me to it, and she just kept digging silvers while I was trying to find it. I did find some good coins along the way, but that Mercury dime, I'm not gonna lie, the Mercury dime probably felt better than anything I found so far, just because I had built so much, like the pressure was building. I had made it a goal, and I had made it a public goal, and anytime you do that, it just makes it, you feel, if you don't complete that task, you're a failure. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Darnell.
There's Ohio metals.
Oh, what's going on? Ohio metal detecting. What's going on, man? You doing all right? All right. I'm sorry. I'm just reading this. This live stuff is not for me. I'm used to being able to edit my goofy self out. Did you guys move from Louisiana to Georgia? I've never been to Louisiana. Original or extra crispy? I like both, to be honest with you. I mean, I like both. If you come to Montana, hey, I got a buddy that lives up in Montana, and he's been begging me to come. But I'll tell you what, I grew up watching Lonesome Dove, Gus and Woodrow. More so Gus and Woodrow. They're both like literature idols of mine. And before I met this gal right here, you can ask her. I was about to move to Montana, and I was going to live a life of solitude off the land, just throwing society to the wind. I was just going to be a ranch hand, and I was just going to say, screw all this. And then she came along.
Well, you say that. We'd already met.
Well, we'd already met, but we got a little serious. And I was just like, you know what, Montana can wait, and it got put on the back burner. But to answer your question, I'm afraid to go to Montana because I'm afraid.
Okay.
Can you guys hear us? Can you hear us?
It just cut off.
This is where I'm at right now. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's all Trooper Bree.
Okay, Trooper Bree, Bri. I don't know how you pronounce just BRI, but I will tell you this. I think you killed it. As soon as you jumped in here, I got axed. But to answer, what I was saying is, I'm afraid to go to Montana because I'm afraid that I'll fall in love with the territories there, and the lack of people, and the open sky, and the potential for spotting UFOs, and I'll just, oh, Gary Lasham, what's going on, man? Nice to see you here. Yeah, I don't know. The West, I think for all Americans, the West has always, like, in some strange sense, it's always represented a freedom that, like, we know but we haven't touched, and we always want to, like, go there. We always want to get out there to big sky country, to where you can just literally walk and get lost, and if you don't have a waterway, you might not make your way back home. And there's something very intriguing about that to me, and I've always wanted to do it. Bree. Okay. Yeah, you shut down the live stream. All right. If I missed anybody's questions, just retype them, because, like, this YouTube live stream, like, I am not a Facebook fan, but I'm telling you, Facebook has the live stream going far better than YouTube. This is absurd. How's the job going, Amanda? BP.
It pays.
Yes.
It's customer service, so it's deal with a lot of crappy people that don't have a hobby. So yeah, they're usually not very nice.
XP Deus and Dog asked, when are you going to try the XP Deus? Okay, that question sounds a little biased, considering you are Deus and Dog. I'm kidding. But honestly, I've watched a lot of videos on the Deus, and I would love to get my hands on one. You can ask this lady right here. If there's any machine that I want to get my hands on, it's the Deus, because I've seen other YouTubers do the tests, and it's always kind of hard to tell like which YouTubers have been kind of offered this and that to like skew the results, but I've watched enough of them to know that like that machine's probably really good, and I do want to get my hands on one.
We do love Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, Pennsylvania is awesome, guys. It really is. I tried to be as honest as possible while making those videos, and I mean, I was watching some of those vlogs just 2 nights ago, and like a little bit of heartache. You just want to get back out there. And a lot of it was the people, but a lot of it was the land out there. I mean, the people and the land. They both just. It's so weird because like Georgia's always felt like my home, but once I got out there, like that's the first place I've ever been where I was like, I could live here. I mean, there's coppers everywhere. I mean, everywhere you turn. So it's kind of hard not to like. Want to get back out there. Where are you guys politically? I'm an anarchist at heart. Like for real, I'm an anarchist at heart. I like strong libertarian leanings, but I believe that the state is a necessary evil, and it has gone out of check for probably at least 170 years. So I hope that answers that. I used to work for CS for a large internet company who offered prime shipping. I can relate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anybody who's been in that service of dealing with the public, All right. Did you guys take a break for hunting season? I don't blame you if you did. Well, honestly, that's a very That's a very difficult question to ask.
Subconsciously, probably yes, but it's more of like it just takes up so much of your time that.
Yes, yeah. I don't think like if I know that there are probably people commenting on this video that do make videos and they understand how much time it takes up, but it took up a lot of our time, and. We both needed a break, and not just that, but I needed a break from just like I didn't want YouTube to become something where I just needed like a dopamine hit, like you upload a video and you get like so many likes and so many comments. I didn't want it to become a place where I didn't want it to become a drug, because like as soon as it starts becoming that, then it really it's detrimental to the creative process, and I've never wanted to just make like your typical metal detecting videos where it's just some random voice like talking into a hole and you just see what's coming out of the ground. I never wanted it to be that, and I always want to like create. If I'm gonna go through the trouble of making a video, I want it to be something that like is worth people's time to watch. And yeah.
And I think that it also has to do with
I got
the fact that you don't want to make normal YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And seeing the results are discouraging sometimes.
No, not Antifa. No, not at all. YouTube ain't easy. No, it's not. Are you still magnet fishing? Yes. Yeah. I mean, I haven't recently because I cherish my fingers, and it's cold. It's cold right now,
cold.
And I have magnet fished in the winter, and I magnet fished for 4 hours last winter in 12-degree temperatures in January with one of my buddies, and I mean it was just misery the whole time. I imagine that if we had found something, it would have made the cold not so paramount in our deciding to go home. But yeah, it was horrible. How long does it take for you to edit a video on average? Well, I guess it depends. The Pennsylvania videos and the deer hunting journal entry videos, those I would be afraid to say, because there's so much thought that goes into the video before I even decide to start shooting the video. I mean, I have to write it all out, and then I have to like dream up these shots that I want to coincide with the each line. And I don't know, the falling of the veil, this is conservative, I would say 40 hours. 40 hours. And the Pennsylvania vlogs, I would say 20 hours each easily.
What was that first one that we did?
But The Wild Lives in Me, that
took forever.
I'm trying not to cuss.
It took forever to film. It took even longer to edit for you.
Yeah, that was a 3-month project, but it was our first big project. Mm-hmm. All right. Can you tell us a little about the permissions you mentioned earlier? Well, that depends. Where do you live? Where do you live? Brett Pree. You don't live around here. BP.
Duh.
Well, the permissions that I'm working on right now involve a camp. I have to be very careful here. One particular permission involves
I moved to Kentucky, you said.
A camp that I've only found mentioned in the OR once, and it's very subtle. But what's strange about it is they give like actual coordinates in like, I can't even remember what language they use. It was some weird language. Rods. I think it was rods. So many rods off of this certain road, and that certain road doesn't go the way that road goes today. So I had to go back and look at 1800s maps and try to determine which road they were talking about. And they talk about finding something in the woods. I'm not gonna. I have to be very careful here, because I know there are lurkers. There are so many lurkers. But needless to say, I think that I have the camp nailed down to like a quarter of a mile, like just a square. And as a matter of fact, one of my buddies that just got into metal detecting, he coon hunts, and he called me 3 nights ago, and he said, "Hey, you know that one thing you were talking about, that one thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "How far away from this road was it?" And I said, probably, I don't know, 0.2 of a mile. He said, "Well, I'm a quarter of a mile away from that one road, and I'm looking at what you were talking about right now." And I was like, "Okay, well, we're going to hit it this coming weekend." So we got some Mr. B. Mr. B, I feel like you might live in Bartow County. Is that what B stands for? You trying to pick my brain in here? Just kidding. But for real, like that's where we're going this weekend. And we also are going to go back to the property where Amanda dug that CSA button. We've been there 3 times. We went with Bird Dog. I've gone back alone. And I went with James one time. And so there's been a CSA button found there. There's been an eagle button, and there's been an Indian head penny, and there's been
whatever that thing that.
Yeah, it was like a bridle. And there was a lock, the actual lock plate that goes on the messenger's, like, I call them purses. They look like fucking freaking purses, that the soldiers would carry. And I got that like nailed down by Butch Holcomb. So he told me without a doubt that's what that is. So we're gonna go back there, and just a few home places that are in the vicinity of Civil War activity that I've nailed down through Maprika. You guys, if you guys aren't using Maprika, I don't know what you're doing with your metal detecting lies, okay? If you're not using Maprika, you got to use Maprika, okay? And you got to get good at it, because like you got to be precise with it. Now, that's some insider information, all right?
No, you don't.
How do you get permissions? Her. And I do have a buddy named Levi, and he is like a...
Levi's really good.
he kind of looks like a chipmunk.
Zach.
Like, but he's got that, like, I don't know, he's got that, like, good old boy, southern,
yeah.
like, but he's got kind of like this Adolf Hitler charisma that ignites people, and they, like, freaking want to jump on board. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But they want to jump on board. I cuss like a sailor in regular life, so it's very hard when I go live. This is the stuff I edit out. So I hope to God that at this hour you guys aren't watching this with your kids. And that's why, like, we said on Facebook that this is probably going to get taken down like after an hour upon upload, just because, like, yeah. But
charismatic.
But yeah, he's very charismatic, but I come across as somebody that, like, might siphon gas out of your car, just because, like, I always have a neck beard going on, and I'm usually in hunting clothes that probably has a few, like, I don't know, some deer blood stains.
Quite an accent.
Huh?
You have quite an accent.
Yeah, my bad. I do have an accent. When I was young, here's some information to let you get to know, like, where I was when I was younger. In middle school, I got like insecure about my southern accent, and part of me wanted to, like, cover it up, because everybody that I knew with a southern accent they just seemed dumb, and I associated, like, a lack of intelligence with the southern accent. But luckily, I started reading Henry David Thoreau in high school, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's who I am. So now I own it, and I don't try to hide it, and I just, sometimes, especially when I'm drinking and I have a dip in, it comes through like thick, like white gravy, and I can't help it. That's just who I am.
I think that's pretty natural to hide your accent.
Yeah,
when
because there's something about an accent that, like, I don't know, it resonates with the tribalism that's deep down in us, which is what caused us to get to where we are as a species. But as someone that believes strongly in individualism, an accent it's just one of those things where you're like, I don't want to be defined by this. I don't want to be judged by this. But at the same time, like, you're kind of walking out the back door on individualism if you focus on those types of things. I'm fluent in Hickanese. Okay, I got you. What's your oldest coin found since detecting?
Was it the...
No, it was in Pennsylvania. I dug that, I dug a...
KG, right?
I don't know. I'm not well versed in these coins I dug. I looked them up, and I had them all laid on a paper plate, and I wrote the dates down. I know that I broke the 1700s. I dug a Connecticut copper, 2 different KGs.
Colonial, yeah.
But one of my favorite finds was a flattened piece of copper that I dug out a well in a county on the outskirts of my home county. I dug it out of a well, and I haven't been able to get a date off of it or any detail other than, now, you guys are going to tell me what the actual term for this is. You know, the coins, they have these little dots going around them, or these little ridges going around them, and that's to protect the details of the face of the coin. You can see that going around like a quarter of the circle. So I know it's a coin. Denticles. BP on the ball, like always. It has that, but I mean, it almost looks like it has been, like, just flattened by mule shoes or a train or something. But I can make that out, and, like, if I drink enough beer, I can kind of see a face on it, but the internet does not agree with that assessment of the piece of metal. So that's one of my favorite finds, because I do feel in my heart that it is a Georgia copper, which is, I mean, Matt Purdue, Tar Heel Digging on YouTube, that's a live shout out right there, because that dude is in Georgia, and he's digging awesome stuff all the time.
He's in Georgia.
Huh? He's in Georgia
I didn't
now.
know he was in Georgia.
Yeah.
You missed out on the shroom hunting this year.
Yeah, we missed out on the shroom hunting this year, but
Well, the falls.
I did find some lion's mane. I did find some lion's mane this deer season. I didn't pick it. It was very immature, and I just let it be. And before I could get back out to that deer stand, it had already like shriveled up. But yes, we're looking forward to spring of the year. We're looking forward to morel hunting. We're looking forward to all types of shrooming and herping in the future. I have a very strong passion for going out and actually like observing venomous creatures. That I think that what I like about like especially venomous reptiles, they're so beautiful, but you can't touch them. You have to kind of like appreciate them from like a safe distance, and that makes me like I don't know, just makes me love them for some reason. I don't know, I'm weird.
Well, there was some stuff that we did over the summer that just wasn't on film, like when we went camping.
Yeah, I've got a. We went to the Blue Ridge Mountains back in late summer.
Yeah.
Late summer, and I got a lot of GoPro footage. We got some great footage of a copperhead, and I grabbed up some water snakes, and we caught a lot of fish. But that's kind of what I was getting at earlier when you guys asked me if I took a break strictly for hunting season. No, it wasn't just that. I just felt burned out. I've acquired a lot of footage, and most of it probably won't make it onto YouTube. A lot of good footage, especially up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I probably have 20 gigs of footage from the Blue Ridge Mountains, just me chest-mounted GoPro on my chest and just walking around with Amanda and some friends, just herping and fishing. But I'm telling you, I was feeling uninspired, and when you feel uninspired, you got to stop. You got to stop and you got to take a break, because you will end up. What's going on?
I'm trying to get them to show up. There they go.
Or you'll just end up putting out things that aren't from your heart, and I don't mean to sound pretentious. I mean, I'm not saying that like my every video is straight from the heart, but like, you know with certainty if like you don't feel it and you're not motivated and you're not inspired, then it's 100% not from the heart. You're just living out of habit, you know.
Look at this message, this comment. Remember that time we were mushroom hunting in that neighborhood and that guy chased us off?
Yeah, we've been chased off morel hunting on public land. So yeah, I mean. Yeah. You start encroaching. Yeah, you start encroaching on like a morel hunter's patch, and they become the sheriff.
Well, yeah, he thought that he was very authoritarian.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody asked about ginseng. I haven't. I've never gone out for ginseng since I was. It was shortly after Charlotte was born.
Yes.
And I
gave up on that real quick.
Yeah, we gave up on it real quick. I would like to revisit it, not because like I'm interested in making money off ginseng, or I'm like intrigued by the properties of the ginseng root, but just because I like finding things that are hard to find, which is why I deer hunt, which is why I mushroom hunt, which is why I herp, which is why I metal detect. And I don't ever want to like try to pretend like that's not part of this, you know. It's like this monkey brain of mine is just really into like riddles. Every hobby that I'm into does two things. It gets me away from people other than her, and it gives me a riddle to solve. And like, I think that's the gist of it. I mean, I think that most of the people that are into metal detecting are introverts, and they are probably, I'm not going to say full-fledged antisocial, because that's kind of like a harsh way to put it, but they do have this like undeniable urge to get away from all this racket
Need
that are
quiet.
Yeah, all this undeniable urge to get away from the racket of society. And I think that in and of itself is paramount for like human healing, which is why I love all my hobbies. And I try to make videos that reflect that.
Ginseng is worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
It just takes so much time to find it with all this other stuff we have going on.
1707, 1714. That's an old one, man.
That is super old.
I'm going to go back up here and see if there's anybody I missed within the last few minutes. Maybe I don't understand what permissions are. Insert dog bark, yeah.
And Brahma Bird Dog. They asked if you and Bird Dog were going to go detecting anytime soon. I think that's the last one that you forgot to answer.
Yeah, Bird Dog. I talked to Bird Dog. I honestly talked to Bird Dog more than I talked to any other YouTuber. He and I have developed quite the friendship, and I think a lot of that dude. I consider him one of my best friends, and I love that dude. And we are going to be detecting a lot in the coming months. I can assure you that.
Message retracted.
Gary Neal, message retracted. He done.
It said I'm in. I like in the letter N.
Yeah, Jeff. Metal detectors do chatter. You're right, but I don't know the language well enough to where it gets on my nerves yet, and I hope I don't ever.
And there's no opinion to it, really. I mean, like in a sense, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can chase some ghost signals every now and then, but that's about as annoying as it gets. Mm-hmm. I've had a detector for years and never really used it because no one will go with me. I just can't do it alone. Who said that?
That was. Yeah, click on it.
Just me. Well. My question to you is, why can't you do it alone? Because I do it alone all the time. Why can't you do it alone?
Maybe an extrovert.
Just me? Are you an extrovert?
Can be an extrovert.
Maybe you are. Going alone. I think that I don't know. There's so many things loaded into that it's hard for me to kind of dissect. But if you have trouble going alone, then I would say that it's probably because you probably are trying to fill a void with metal detecting that you need from human companionship. It's not until you have filled the appropriate voids that companionship needs to fill that metal detecting offers the appropriate outlet for like a healthy existence. If you could get to a point to where you have filled the human companionship voids, I think metal detecting is an excellent venture. But if you have trouble going alone, then I think that what you need to do is you might need to go find you some folks to hang out with, drink some beers with. I don't know. I'm not too big into sports. I watch MMA and football game every now and then. Basketball game. I played basketball in high school. Who'd have thought, right? Yeah, I played basketball. Yeah, just me. But I mean, I'm just being honest with you, man. Like, I mean, I understand where you're coming from because I've been there before. As I go off screen to spit.
Wow, they got super philosophical. Door knocking is hard for us when you're introverts.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So Zach pulled me to the side, like, how do you give permissions? Me, like, I'm good at speaking. I'm not. Most of the time, I'm just like, I say all the time, and that gets on Zach nerves a lot.
You have no idea how many ums I have to edit. Like, I would say 10% of my editing time goes into editing out her ums.
Well, you should see me at someone's door. I'm like, hey,
but
we detect.
But what you have to understand is you have to understand human psychology, and when a female comes to the door, automatically
feel less threatened.
The threat is removed.
Feel less threatened.
They don't feel like all the thoughts, all the potential thoughts of getting robbed or getting. Well, I don't want to say that. Even though it's true, I don't want to say it just in case there are kids watching. Getting taken advantage of, getting, I don't know, anything along that line of thought. The
Yeah, I
human
mean,
darkness is
if
removed.
a female comes to my door and I'm here by myself, I automatically feel like, okay, we're okay. I mean, I still have my guard up because I'm a small female in stature, but if it's a guy, I'm like, okay, where's the gun? You know, I automatically feel like something's up.
Yeah, yeah. So, but honestly, I think that what motivates me, and this is something that, like, if you're new to metal detecting, I'm not sure if we have any newbies in here, but if you're new to metal detecting, what you need to do is you need to don't focus so much on your door knocking abilities. Focus on the research, because the research is what's going to fuel your, like, motivation to actually go knock on the door. Because if your research is right and you're certain that, like, that house right there on 30 acres, there's a camp behind that house, that's going to be the motivation. That's going to, I mean, the drive to get those relics out of the ground is going to be more than the insecurity to door knock. And that's what I do. Like, if I'm just in a city door knocking, just, okay, this city is this old and I know that there's probably this and this here. Like, I don't have that motivation. It's like buying a grab bag at a 1989 flea market. You know, you might get a little something, but if I know that my research is acute, then I'm gonna have so much drive, and I have door knocked, gotten to know, pulled out, like, research that I've done and said, okay, well, let me explain something to you. Okay, I metal detect, I researched the Civil War, and what would you say if I told you that I thought that there was a Civil War camp behind your house? Okay, what would you say if I had official reports from the Civil War that lead me to believe that? And I pull out, like, printed off sheets from the OR with highlighted strips, and I'm like, this is why I think this. I've gotten permissions like that, and that doesn't come from, like, some kind of, like, extroverted enthusiasm. It comes from just knowing my research, and, like, that's what fuels it, you know. And sometimes that's what it takes. I'm just reading some comments right now.
I think that even if you left the ums in, I would still do it.
I'm
just
said
a
so
really
many ums.
slow
It's not
speaker. I think about everything that I say, and I try to fill in the emptiness with ums, regardless.
Those places around here are not owned by people around here. I would still do it. Yeah, we get into that problem too. Like, it's like LLCs, or it's owned by the county or owned by the state, and it gets a little tricky. I've gotten into some philosophical discussions with the state about stuff like that. But
well, we've even hunted public land and gotten threatened to get federal lawsuits against us.
But Gary Neal, yeah, I think that you hit something on the head there. It's some of my favorite trips out metal detecting rendered no, like, great finds. It's just the hunt, you know. And, like, I mean, if I went out every time deer hunting and killed, like, a crazy deer like this, I probably would be bored with deer hunting. And same with fishing, same with shrooming, same with herping. I mean, if I found these critters and these fungi and these rare species every single time I went out, I would not be as driven to continue the pursuit. It's the pursuit of the treasure or the species. I mean, that's what drives us, you know. And anybody who pretends that they're doing God's work, or they're just like, I don't know. There's a huge, like, group of people online who feel like they're, like, changing history books. I've not seen but a few people in the metal detective community whose finds have actually changed the history books. I mean, and anybody who, like, just focuses on like recovering history but they're not recovering history. I mean, to themselves they are, but I mean, the bullet they dig on the ridge just goes on their shelf, and it's an ego thing. I mean, it really is. It really is an ego thing. I mean, yes, they're recovering history, but they're not like dropping GPS points and turning that into historians. It's all ego. It's all ego, and the people that are like, they're pretenders, and they are they're selling false goods, if you know what I mean. You know.
I think that this is a really good question from Cheryl. Cheryl? I mean, yeah, that's how I would pronounce it.
Do a large percentage of your permissions
We've had one
want to
that
keep
kept
what you
everything.
found? Do you give them the option? Well, I think first and foremost, and this is something I've ran into a time or two, and I have given things away,
Everything.
But when? We've never given everything.
Yes, we have. I don't want to name names, but we have. It was people that we knew. Like, really.
I don't remember a time where we gave everything.
Where they redid the house.
Oh, no. We took stuff home. Yeah, we did.
Barely.
But, okay, anyways, this is
sneak it.
Okay, this is what I have to say on that. If somebody tells you that you have to give everything to them, just tell them no.
Never mind.
Because you're the person burning the calories. You're the person with the know-how to retrieve the relics.
The money on the detector.
And before you shake their hand and say thanks for your time, you need to let them know that, because I think that's a duty of somebody in this hobby. You have to let the people know, like, hey, I understand that you own this land, but what you need to understand is you're going to have to buy a metal detector, and you're going to have to probably work it for 5 or 6 years before you get to the level that I'm at. So why don't you save yourself some time? And let's be honest with ourselves. You're probably not going to get a detector. You're just wanting to make a quick buck, because they don't care about the relics.
Yeah,
they don't. They're worried that you're coming onto their property. You've done some weird like research, and you have figured out that the lost Cherokee gold is buried under the cornerstone of their house.
Well, that's what
which is understandable. Because before I got into this hobby, if somebody come knocking on my door and they're like, "Hey, do you care if I'm metal detector?" I'd be like, "Why? What? Why?" But I'm open-minded enough to where if somebody did like have the nerve to like explain, like, "Well, I did some research. I think the troops came through. I might be able to find a bullet or a button or something." I'll be like, "Sure, go ahead." But if like you just say, "Well, I'm not giving you everything I find. Thanks, have a good day," then you could be losing a potential treasure trove. And by treasure, I don't mean monetary value. By potential, I mean metal detecting experience, because that's all I value is the experience, the adrenaline of finding something, the adrenaline of just getting on new ground where your research is accurate, and you're just like, those expectations, to me, that's what it's all about.
We have done that through Daddy, the genealogy ancestry research.
Yeah, we've done a little bit of that.
A little bit.
Hold on, I'm going to try to catch up on some of these comments, guys. Bear with me.
I think that you stopped right here.
All right, I got turned down.
There.
Do we have any new interest? Not really.
No.
Not really. Still listening to a lot of music, a lot of stand up. Yeah, very intrigued with aliens, but I've always been intrigued by aliens. Yeah, and that's something else. And this is where I'm probably going to step out of lines as somebody in the metal detecting community. About, like, don't ever get it in your head that like certain pieces of ground are sacred, and because all it takes is the right person with the right amount of money to turn that battlefield into a Whole Foods. Okay, it has nothing to do with anything other than money. And the way I see it, and I'm not saying that as somebody, I wouldn't go onto a battlefield and metal detect, but if a section of battlefield is sold, they should raffle it off just like they do quota hunts and deer hunting, and they should let people come in. And I don't even care if like a historian or an archaeologist comes in and like pinpoints it and keeps it there. And takes everything, gives it to a museum, and that museum goes on to sell it to pay the power bill, because that's what happens. I mean, let's be real. That's exactly what happens. Like, I mean, these relics are only worth money. Yeah, alien technology. Yeah, alien technology. I did say that. But, I mean...
I think he was asking specifically what the alien technology is.
Oh, don't get me started. But, But yeah, I don't think I would never, and I don't think anybody should go into a battlefield. But there are large swaths. I mean, the entire city of Atlanta is a battlefield, and I mean, there's probably not 5 acres in the whole city of Atlanta that's even worth detecting anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much development. The land is only sacred until the money comes along.
Yeah.
And the relics just get paved over. Do you know how many cannonballs, how many breastplates, how many CSA buckles, how many breastplates are under pavement right now? Huh? Oh, breastplates. I said it twice. She informed me.
They're so important. That's why I said it twice.
But I mean, honestly, it's just about money. That's all it's about. Yeah. And there are a lot of people in this hobby that are in it for the money. I've never sold anything but jewelry. And this is a ring, Amanda.
We didn't even sell jewelry, have we?
Yeah, we've sold a couple rings. That's about the only thing I will sell. But the way I see it, like if I were to sell, I don't know, Curtis Shields.
Oh yeah, Osborne Park. You're right. We did sell a men's wedding band.
Yeah, but it wasn't old. The way I see it is, if I were to sell, I don't know, Amanda's CSA button, which I don't even know how much it's worth because I don't look that stuff up. But if I were to sell it, I would get some money, $150, $200 maybe. And within 2 weeks, that money would be gone. And then I would have nothing to show for it except for more consumerism.
Well,
just decking my bookshelves and just clogging up space. And yes, the button does clog up space, but at least it represents a time that I'm nostalgic for, a time that I'm very intrigued with, a time that means something to me. Not even from a Civil War perspective, but just from a psychological human experience perspective, because it's very hard for me to fathom brothers killing brothers. And on that dark note, let me see if there's any more questions. If there's not any new questions, we're gonna get off here. Yeah, I didn't anticipate.
I didn't think it was gonna be this.
Yeah, that's about it. If you have a gut feeling, there's something good there. Then most of the time there is. Hunt until you find the good treasure. My gut feelings never let me down. That's a good point.
Yeah.
My gut feelings, I always trust them, and sometimes they lead me astray. Sometimes they're right. But I mean, that's what makes it fun, you know. Just, it's amazing how the topography of the land will kind of speak to you, you know, despite what you've read and despite what.
Lori spoke on that too.
Yeah, because I mean, there is psychology to topography, because I mean, we are nomadic species, and we will kind of flow with the lay of the land just like water. You know, we're going to take the path of least resistance, and a lot of times that path will lead us somewhere where other humans have been. And I mean, that's just basic human psychology. Just want to let you guys know that was very interesting. Yeah.
Selling your jewelry. Well, you did try to post it on Facebook for like a week, right, or so.
Yeah, but
to try to find
the way I see it. The way I see it, if maybe, but what is danger? Like, you really got to look at that word. What is danger? Danger, like, for somebody who digs a ring up, knows they didn't steal it, danger is irrelevant, because you know in your heart that you didn't steal it. And if you sell it and someone tries to prosecute you, then you know in your heart that you are innocent, and the burden of proof is on them. And I don't think there's any reason, as an innocent person, I don't think there's any reason to worry with danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me thinking. But I mean, that is a good point, though. That is something to
Yes,
consider
it
for
is.
sure.
It's something that I never thought of.
All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys, all 12 of you, sticking into the end. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Hey, we had 19 at one point.
19.
Thank
and
you.
This is, like, this should let you guys know that, like, this entire channel is built on a whim. At, like, just the whim of inspiration. Dang near midnight there.
Almost the midnight hour.
Yeah, but I don't have to go into work until 11 tomorrow because there's snow on the ground. So
And I'm off, and the kids are out of school.
Like, if I was like, if you guys ever thought that I was like some kind of like crazy, like I'm just in it for trying to make money and a YouTube strategist, trust me, my first live feed would not have been at like 10:45, going on midnight. Trust me, it would not.
Treasure Junkies just said what's up, and then I missed it. Hey. Bye.
All right, I'll probably leave this up until tomorrow morning until I have to go into work, and then I'm gonna be like, well, you know what? Who knows? Maybe I'll leave it up. But I really do appreciate every one of you guys. We love y'all. We're gonna have new videos coming out. I don't know, probably within the next 2 weeks we'll have a new video up.
Yeah.
Because deer season's out and we got a
That's
lot
the
of time.
goal.
Really, we're just we're on the whim of the weather right now.
Cabin fever for sure.
See you guys. Hope I didn't offend you, but if I did, just know that it was straight from the heart and I didn't mean anything by it. Love you guys. Now let me figure out how to end this damn thing.
How do you end it?